So here with CloudBees, I wanted to say thank you to GitHub for creating an amazing event. I don't think I've actually been to a conference that is this unique. So I'm going to jump right in. We have internet? All right. Let me check something really quick here. All right, here we go. So my name is Casey Vega. I am a senior solutions architect with CloudBees. I just wanted to say hello to everybody. When I'm not working with our customers, I'm also a trainer for CloudBees and a consultant for CloudBees as well. At CloudBees, we're doing some pretty unique things in the space of CI/CD. If you're familiar with the Jenkins project, CloudBees is an enterprise sponsor of that particular project, and we're actually currently working on building the world's first end-to-end continuous software delivery system. As mentioned, we are the #1 Jenkins corporate sponsor, so about 80% of the code that we write winds back up in the open source project, and that's something not a lot of companies do that, and so that's something we're actually super proud of. We have quite a bit of users, many implementations, and if you're interested in how we derive these stats, you can go to stats.jenkins.io. Besides being the company behind Enterprise Jenkins, our DNA is deeply rooted in companies like Sun Microsystems and Red Hat. The creator of Jenkins is also the CTO of CloudBees. From the enterprise perspective, we're servicing most of Fortune 100 companies, and we work with varying different company sizes, large, small. And of course, we're hiring. So and I just actually ripped this straight off of Glassdoor. And I will agree with these statements. I have a pretty good work-life balance, and I have a lot of fun working at CloudBees. So most of our positions are remote, and we are located all over the world. So we have people in Switzerland, Spain, the United States, Australia, Japan, Dubai. So for anybody that's interested in traveling and working at the same time, that's definitely an option with CloudBees. So my demos today, I'm going to try to keep them fun. And if you know what this is, awesome. If you don't, I'm sorry. And the two demos I want to give today are how to use GitHub organizations in CloudBees Core and Jenkins. So this is available in our enterprise software offering, and it's also available from an open source perspective. So if you're using open source, this is something that you'll be able to utilize right away. The next piece of my demo is distributed teams and masters using our enterprise products. One of the things that our customers come to us for are, how do I scale Jenkins? I have 30,000 users and over 500 teams. How do I ensure that all of my teams are building software, that it's getting tested, and that the right things are happening? How do I ensure that my software is being delivered? And so today we're going to show you a really simple onboarding process that we've created on the enterprise side. Before we can do that, I wanted to talk about Jenkins file Anyone here familiar with Jenkins file? Do you write Jenkins file? Awesome. So as you know, Jenkins, the entire purpose of Jenkins file or a marker file is we set this file in the base of our repo, and that's configurable, but for this discussion, the base of our repo. And what we can do here is describe not only how we want our software built, but we can also describe how we want it tested, how we want it shipped, how we want it packaged, what other jobs that, once this one's finished, maybe there's other chores to go off and do. So what we really want people to do, especially GitHub users, is to commit their code and then to have that code work its way all the way into development without having as little much human intervention as possible. The entire purpose of Jenkins file is obviously to keep your builds and your deployments consistent, and code is, or configuration is code. So if you're not familiar with Jenkins file, that's fine. I think you'll understand it a little bit more when I jump into the demonstrations. So this is where we really want to get a lot of our users, and this is what a lot of people at a lot of companies are aspiring to do, right? They want code that gets committed to end up in production. But that's not always as easy as this chart makes it look. There's a lot of difficulties, right? We have the test team, we have the DevOps team, maybe we have a specialized team for our artifact repositories. So it really just depends on what type of constraints you have in your environment. But the thing that I love about Jenkins and CloudBees Core is that I can really bend this software to my will and make it do what I want it to do. So what I'm going to show you today is an easy way to get up and running. Since this is a GitHub conference, I figured we'll show you how to get up and running in GitHub and how to pull in all of the information that you have in your current repositories and how to take advantage of the Jenkins file. And it's really simple. So let's see, where's my, there we go. So this is my GitHub organization, right? And so a lot of people are probably pretty used to seeing this type of screen internally. Maybe you're running GitHub Enterprise, but here we have a couple repositories, and this was something I set up for the sake of doing the demo. But so we have a couple people, we have a couple teams right here, and then we have our repositories. And that's great. When we look at our repositories, we have code inside of them, and it's ready to take on work. So, oops. Here I have, and let's just make sure that this is going to load properly. All right, excellent. So here I have an empty Jenkins server, and it's ready for jobs, right? And so what we used to do way back is people would come and they would create a freestyle project. Maybe maybe you don't like freestyle projects because you have to tuck all the data inside of Jenkins. So people started evolving and utilizing pipeline projects. And that's great, but if you have 30 projects, that means you have to go and configure 30 jobs. And who wants to do that? I don't. So we started looking at multi-branch pipelines. And multi-branch pipelines bring in a lot of the nuances that you'll find in Git, right? So maybe I have additional branches or tags, and that's great. But again, I still have to configure each and every repository in order to do that. So what we came up with was GitHub organization project type. And so wish me luck, because this is a live demo on a live Kubernetes system. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. So, all right, so that's the name of our organization. We have GitHub organization here. Click OK. So now it's going to bring me into the configuration screen. Now, one of the things that I did, because this is a demo, is I primed the demo with my credentials because I didn't want to pop my credentials up onto the screen for everyone to steal and me have to go do stuff with it. So just know that you would have to create a credential before doing this, which is a username and a token. For this particular instance, I'm going to say this person is the owner. And one of the other items I'm going to add here, just because I like to know about them, is I want to discover the tags too. So you saw that. Because all I did was select a credential and type in who the owner of that repository is, right? So let's go ahead and save it. All right, so we're going to scan our repositories, and if we come back here, right, we have these repositories. If we come back here, all of my repositories are now present inside of the GitHub organization folder job. So that's great. I didn't have to do any configuration. I was able to utilize GitHub's API and bring all of those items in. So, but what are some of the other things that we want to know, right? As GitHub users, obviously we really like the idea of pull requests, right? I mean how do you live without pull requests? So if we look at this particular project, we have a single branch, master branch. We have multiple pull requests, and we have a tag. If I look here, you can actually see I do have a tag, right? Oh, I do have 2 pull requests. And then I also have multiple branches. You'll notice that we didn't actually bring in those branches, though, because the pull requests have already been satisfied. So let's go ahead and make it real simple and create a branch. So and we'll make a simple edit. Excellent. So if we come back here, let's go ahead and make our pull request. They're able to merge, so we'll create that. So that happened pretty quickly, right? Now, granted, it's Jenkins pseudocode, so there's not a whole heck of a lot happening inside of the pipelines, but you can see that we're pending, that we have 1 check. And as soon as those checks are done, we'll actually be able to, which they are now, we'll be able to create that. So let's go ahead, come back here. There's our pull request. There's our additional branch. And what took me maybe 20 seconds of configuration, I was able to bring in my entire organization using a Jenkins file. And now I have the ability to code my builds, to code my testing, to code my deployments, and it all works with GitHub, which is awesome. The last thing I wanted to show off, do I have time? No? Okay. All right, well, come check us out at the booth. We are right up in front. We have a beautiful fish tank. And if you have questions or anything, let me know. I'd love to talk to you. Thank you for your time.